Hello and welcome to another round of the AOR Project Cars 2 Formula C Championship. We're here for round 5 at Brands Hatch GP circuit and it is getting pretty wet out there. Let's just say that. It's not great condition for qualifying in, but here we are as we go on board now with Yogurt going round up to Druids. I'm joined, of course, and he goes very wide there, by the one and only JP McKinley.
Hello there, and you are correct. It is a miserable day here, but I'm sure these guys are going to make the best of it. We could tell before we went live that there was a lot of queuing to get out on track as fast as possible. Clank was heading the queue, but Yogurt managed to grab position on track to have so there's less spray for him to see. But it's definitely qualifying already. People are getting their elbows out. I was going to say shoulders for a second. So trying to get their arms out anyways to swim through this. This is absolutely torrential stuff.
It is indeed. It'll be interesting to see how these drivers do in this wet weather. We've not really had wet weather this season so far, so just for today it should just be for qualifying. It's looking like it's going to ease off by the start of the first race, but very interesting to see how these guys get on in the wet weather.
Yeah, definitely. Now that Yogurt is on his first quali lap, to see what he can put on the board. He's got one turn left. He's not scared of getting up on the curbs either, even in the rain. With the drive to the line, let's see where it puts him. A 1:35 flat.
Benchmark time there with Stefan Carey just half a second behind.
Yeah, it's not a bad time from Carey, to be fair. As we all know how fast Yogurt is, he's definitely a bit of an alien.
So we do have the big names are all back today. I believe everyone from the top 5 are here today. Although Asturbo's here, Big Wilk is here, we've got Boris is here, and Yogurt is here, and Stefan Carey is here, WMDR Martin is here. So we do have all the top hitters here today for this race, after a few had a couple of missed weeks previously, so definitely going to be interesting to see how it plays out when everyone's here to party.
Yes, definitely. It's great to see that the big hitters are all willing to miss the football for this, but I know what I'd rather be doing anyways. I'd rather be watching this than watching football. But I guess.
Well, I mean, when you're Welsh and Irish, I don't think it really matters what happens today in some football game, does it? I don't think it's not an important game, is it really? Wales aren't playing, Ireland aren't playing. It just doesn't matter.
I mean, it's basically we're so good that we just kind of bowed out early of the tournament to let others have a go at it.
Yeah, as we thought Denmark, go ahead guys, like have a crack. You know, we'd beat England anyway, so you guys go ahead, give it a go.
As everyone tunes out, as they're purely disgusted with what they just heard.
Well, I mean, if they're watching the football and they're English, they're not tuned in anyway, so everyone that's left is gonna be people that aren't here to watch the football. So I'm glad that you're here. If you are here watching, thank you for the support and watching the racing tonight instead of the Euros. Appreciate it, everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. And we only have as Turbo crosses the line to go pole. The track does seem to be drying up now, so slightly as people are getting into the 34s. So that's Ass Turbo, followed by Crab and Union P3.
Yeah, dry line's starting to form around the track, just very lightly, but obviously enough to gain some pace. It's pushed Yogurt down to 4th currently. We'll see if he can improve on that 135.
Yeah, these cars seem to be handling pretty well in the current weather conditions. But there doesn't seem to be that many big moments. As I say that, off goes Martin.
It was always going to happen at some point, wasn't it?
we'll jump over to his teammate Carey to see how he's getting on. He currently P7, sitting with a 35.5. As Jorger comes across the line to take current pole position of a 33.3, a full second ahead of everyone else. But where is the other man, Strongest Avenger? Where is this going to put him? As he heads up now to turn 2. Let's see what kind of a lap Strongest can put together as he goes slightly wide. Not sure if that would have invalidated it, but see if he still pushes to complete the lap.
Yeah, looks like that would have been the track limits there, I think, so he may just keep it chill this lap to gear himself up for the next one.
Oh, he's had a huge moment on the curb on the exit of Hawthorne Bend, and he manages to keep it out of the barrier, but that would have been a bit of a heart and mouth moment.
Yeah, it's a very, very fast corner in the dry. Wouldn't like to really try it too much in the wet in these conditions. It's pretty much a death trap trying to go flat out through there.
Voodoo now coming across the line. Let's see where this lap puts him. Currently sitting P14. He does improve, but he does stay P14. So there is time on the as he just be demoted to 15th as Phoenix jumps him.
Yeah, one of the new drivers tonight, Phoenix, has joined, so it's good to see the grid filling up even later on in the season, keeping good amount of cars on track for a good amount of battles.
Yeah, I do believe that Phoenix and WRC Animal have joined forces to create a new team for the championship.
Yeah, it does seem to be the case, so we'll see if they can make any dent into the team championship today.
Yeah, just over 5 minutes remaining. Current pole sitter Jorger sitting in the pits, and then we've got Big Wilk with Ass Turbo in P3, and then we got Animal in 4th and Crab in 5th.
Yeah, Strongest Avenger currently sitting 1.6 down on Jorguk. Obviously that's only 0.6 down on Big Wilk, so it's a lot closer as soon as you take Jorguk out of the picture, but yeah, some work for Strongest Avenger to do here today so far if he stays in P8.
Yeah, he's managed to get around that corner that he of Hawthorne Bend a bit better this time. He didn't have any excursions, but he's got 2 turns left. See where this time can put him. Definitely one of the big hitters. We are expecting at least a 33 from Strongest Avenger.
Yeah, he's 100% capable of it. It's just whether, not sure how his driving is in the wet conditions. We know he's rapid in the dry, but how does he do today? And that does put him onto 3rd place, with Ass Turbo also improving to put himself within half a second of Jorguk too.
And if that lap hasn't been still valid, you can just tell how Strongest Avenger is attacking them curbs. Into turn 1 he was right over the inside curb. Definitely very brave.
Yeah, especially in these conditions, just going straight for that curb unsettles the car. Very wet and slippy. It's just doesn't seem a good move to do, but if that's where he's finding the time and he can keep the car together, then that's the line to take.
Yeah, Big Luck here now sitting in P4, currently 2nd in the championship, I do believe. 2nd off the leader, but I don't know, is it worth risking it, because Jorguk is currently 4th in the championship, but he is about 30 points behind, so Yeah, and I guess it's worth when it comes to the races, at least trying to race Yogurt to take some points off Yogurt because I mean Yogurt could jump him in the championship, as that was actually Phoenix who spun and crashed into the wall there in front of Big Wilk, but it didn't cost Big Wilk any time.
That
But he's
will.
just, yeah. And that'll probably invalidate the next lap as well, unfortunately.
Yep, with only 3 minutes left, he's got to get a move on to get round for another lap. Maybe I'd fit 2 in if he's lucky. He brings it into the pits instead.
Yeah.
But Oz Dunder now, he's sitting in P13 currently, 2.5 seconds off the pace of Yogurt. If he can improve, it's only a tenth to be able to jump a position, 5/10 to be able to jump 2 positions.
I think this lap will be invalidated, but I think he'll have at least 1 more flying lap, possibly 2 if he can get to the line in time, which I do think he will. But before the stream started, we'd actually see this guy having a bit of fun in the pits. And I was actually surprised he didn't get disqualified, but it's good to see that he's having a bit of fun in the pits, making sure that he's getting the tyre championship and he's doing some donuts in the pits. But it's good to see that he's still enjoying himself.
Yeah, that's what this all about. Just have a bit of fun here and drive cleanly. But when you're not driving on the racing or qualifying, then why not have a bit of fun in the pit lane while you're waiting for the weather to start? Basically, is what they were doing.
Yeah, and I do believe Strongest Avenger must feel he can go quicker, because Yogurt and Ass Turbo have stayed in the pits because maybe they believe that they can't improve on their times, but Strongest Avenger is back out on track and comes up to the last turn, so this will be his starting of his final lap to see if he can improve and maybe get on the front row.
Yeah, this will be his last lap now, as you say, as he comes up around Druids. Fast, right hand, faster than you think right-handed, to be honest. You can carry a lot more speed through there as you get chucked up and down the mountain. It's not quite a Bathurst mountain, it's more of a hill, but
more of a mound.
yeah, a bit of a mound here, yeah. Head off onto the GP part of the circuit now. Fastest part of the track heading down this straight. Into Hawthorns now, just a little tap of the brakes just to get the front end to coax in, but that will be not enough brakes. He goes off onto the grass and that'll be the end of his lap.
He doesn't seem to be lifting, but maybe he's managed to carry on to do the lap. Maybe he's just trying to see where he can get time in the race. But he's definitely not. Oh, it's invalidated now. He's definitely invalidated. He's just put it into the wall.
Big Wilk now, what can he do? Can he improve on his 4th place? Needs to somehow find 4 tenths, 5 tenths of a second to be able to get anywhere here now. That's totally possible. He's currently sitting 2nd in the championship and he hasn't got there from being slow, so.
Yeah, he's had a hell of a season. Oh, he's just carried too much speed and he's just ran wide and invalidated. And now here comes Martin, full lock on, good old controller.
Yeah, these guys just pushing now. They know it's the last lap. There's nothing to lose. They've can't go backwards on the grid now from 6th, so Martin may as well push as hard as he can.
Yeah, it is interesting to see that whatever setup this Martin is using, it seems to have better turning than what the other guys have. We'll see now. You can see that he's more drifting the final turn than what everybody else seems to be running wide.
Yeah, whether that's his ability on the controller to just force the car into some understeer, oversteer sort of situation, or whether it's he's using a different setup. It's
yeah,
just
and we can just see that Yeah, we just see the Martin got jumped up to P5 with that last lap.
He did indeed, so great lap there by Martin to grab that position, but our pole sitter today, none other than Yogurt. Second, following on the front row will be As Turbo. On the second row we got Strongest Avenger and Big Wilk, followed by WNDR Martin and Uni. The next row we have Crab and WRC Animal, followed by Stefan Carey and Deophile.
Yeah, and then in P11 we got Clank, and then P12 with Oz Dunder. P13 we got Boris. I'm pretty sure Boris won't be happy with that as he's currently third in the championship. Not a great starting position for him. But then we got the new guy Phoenix and P14, Voodoo in 15th, Cameron B in 16th, and Keyboard Blondie in 17th.
So here we go, as you can see the rain has cleared up for our race now, 15 lap sprint race, with the top 10 being reverse grid for the next race in the finishing order. So we'll be watching closely for that 10th place battle, which it seems that every week has been a fantastic battle for that position to try and get the pole position in the following race.
Yeah, I do hope you didn't just jinx us when you said that.
It seems to be also a running theme that we do tend to have a pretty nasty commentator's curse when it comes to these races too, so hopefully not.
Yeah. So now this will be a starting start to this race, as it's a sprint race, but the feature race later on will be double the laps and will be a rolling start. Yeah, so this race, when we see the green light, it's 100% go and get the elbows out. Don't let anyone past and just attack.
Yeah, it's interesting here as well, the fact that As Turbo actually has the inside line going into Paddock Hill Bend. Tend to come out on top on the inside, so if you can get a decent enough start to get alongside Yogurt, holding that inside line is often an advantage around there.
Yeah, for sure. It's such a tricky braking zone though, the turn one, because it's slightly like downhill, and it's a very tricky track. For some reason this track doesn't seem to like me, but I do like racing here, but I never seem to go well here. But enough about me, as the grid is starting to sync up.
Indeed, we'll see the red lights now.
We're getting ready.
And we are green, and it does seem to be a good start from Yogurt there. And behind him is a Big Wilk with also a decent start, gets alongside As Turbo around turn 1, but they're cleanly round, good to see, as they head up towards Druids. Side by side now, WMDR Martin and Big Wilk. But Big Wilk coming out on top there through that corner as they settle into a bit of a train now. But Yogurt with a fantastic start, managed to pull a second from As Turbo now already. Strongest Avenger right on the gearbox of As Turbo, trying to make a move now into turn 4 up the hill, and he gets it done.
As Turbo probably thinking better of the championship, better to let Strongest Avenger go and attack Yogurt, as them two aren't really in the running for the championship as it sits. But As Turbo now down to P3, getting attacked by Big Wilk, who is in the championship hunt and takes P3.
Yeah, great line there by Big Wilk to get the inside into turn 5 and gain that position from As Turbo, take advantage of the poor line from the previous corner when he was battling with Strongest Avenger. So bit of a shuffle in the top order now, but Yogurt, again, just 3 seconds in a lap is pretty ridiculous to pull away. As there's a spin.
That's WRC
That was
Animal.
WRC Animal spinning in the background, unfortunately. And we have off-road there. Is that As Turbo? That is As Turbo. As Turbo losing it there around Sterling's turn 9. And he has fallen down the order. As Turbo now down to 9th. But we have Boris has moved himself up to 8th. So he had a fantastic start from that poor grid position.
Yeah, and I do believe that Martin and Keyboard Blondie must have had it coming together, because they are at the back of the grid now. But definitely it's a bit of an action-packed opening couple of laps so far, as Boris now tries to have a look around the outside of Uni, but Uni definitely closes the door there. And Ass Turbo on Boris. This is P1 and P3 in the championship. And Ass Turbo has a look up the inside. Can Boris carry the speed around the outside? It's side by side as they head down the big long straight of Druids. Sorry, not Druids, as Pilgrims even. They're still side by side. Boris has got the inside line. Ass Turbo will try to get the outside. But, as you can see, Uni ahead of them goes off. But, and Ass Turbo seems to be falling backwards. This race is now Oz Dunder as right on him.
Great opening few laps here today. Bit of drama, a bit of Ass Turbo unexpected to go backwards from 2nd down to 9th in these opening laps, so he's got a lot of work now to get back up the order, but Clank got himself to P6 with Stefan Carey just ahead of him in P5.
Yeah, it's been a great opening 2 laps from Clank. He started P11 and now he's up to P6. Carey as well up to P5, as well as Krabs had a pretty good opening laps as well. He's up to P4 now.
Yeah, taking advantage of those of Ass Turbo, moving backwards down the order. And, but we see Strongest Avenger actually has a time penalty, so we'll see if it's a 3-second time penalties. That's quite large for this early on in the race, and that could play into the hands of Big Wilk later on.
Yeah, we can see that WMDR Martin is now out of the pits, but Keyboard Blondie is back in the pits. As Clank has been attacked by Uni around the outside, but can Clank hang on to the inside line? They're very respectful, they're giving each other room. They're almost touching wheels. It's Clank again as the inside line, and now Boris will have the run on Uni.
Yeah, it's great defending there by Clank, holding that inside line, but Uni lucky there not to lose out as well to Boris and hold on to that P7 for now.
We'll have a look at the new guy, Phoenix, currently holding P12, trying to hunt down Darephile with Cameron B in the background. Ass Turbo taking a look up the inside of Oz Dunder and gets the move done.
A brave move around turn 1 to get that done there by Ass Turbo, but he's got a lot of work to do, so he's getting on with it.
Yeah, current championship leader, this is not what he'll be wanting to happen. He wanted to have as best a race as possible. Starting in P2, he would have been doing a great job, but this is not the race that he was expecting to be fighting for P10, P9.
Yeah, still a long way to go yet though, still plenty of chances for him to gain positions back and other instants up the field, but they've got a bit of a train here now of Boris, Uni, Clank and Stefan Carey just ahead as well.
Yeah,
Boris,
sorry.
To say Boris being on 3rd place holder in the championship. Obviously wouldn't want to be down in P8 either, that's quite far down for him too. So we've got 1st and 3rd down in 8th and 9th currently, but Big Wilk up in 3rd.
Yeah, this is perfect for Big Wilk. This is exactly what he'll be wanting, as he seems to be just bridging the gap to Crab. But Strongest Avenger and especially Yogurt has definitely said, right lads, we'll see you later, see you at the finish line. But definitely only 10 laps to go, but this is looking good for Big Wolf as it sits. There is the battle for P3, Crab and Big Wilk. Crab now starting to slowly reel in Big Wilk, just as I said that a few laps ago. But maybe Big Wilk feeling the pressure that he needs this good result for the championship. And Crab is right on the back of his gearbox as Big Wilk goes wide. And there is the mistake from Big Wilk that let Crab through.
Yeah, Big Wilk just put under pressure there by Crab. Crab did nothing wrong, and Big Wilk sends it into the sand, so got a bit of recovering now to do. He's got Stefan Carey not far behind either now, so that's a real downturn there for Big Wilk.
Yeah, it seems all the big hitters are the pressure of the championship seems to be getting to them, and now the guys in the midfield could spice things up a bit. And we all know that how good Carey can be as well. In his last race at Silverstone, he had some unbelievable cat-like reactions to save the car when he was rear-ended by Crab into the old turn 1 of Silverstone. But
yeah, Stefan Carey with 5 finishes, that were either 4th or 5th, but he's yet to stand on the podium, so see if he can get that done today. It's a long run in this one to be able to get back up to Crab, but sure I'll be hoping for a podium today if he can get a good start in the second race. But for now, he's going to be concentrating on getting another 4th position from Big Wilk.
yeah, and just to bring some attention to Jorgerk, even though he is leading the race, his last lap was a 28.6, I believe. So he must have had a slight issue, because now this lap's a 25.1. So definitely his lap times are a bit all over the place right now. So maybe the and in the background, I'm pretty sure that's Clank in the background. Yeah, that was Clank. We could see the spinning in the final corner, and he slowly gets up to speed, and he's now dropped down to P11.
Yeah, rare mistake there by Clank to put it in the gravel and get it spun, but he's back going again, as you say, and long grind back again from P11. He'll be looking for that top 10 result at least, just to get himself in the top end of the grid for the next race, but he won't be happy with himself from that mistake.
Yeah, he'll be absolutely kicking himself, as we all know how I say this about a lot of the drivers, but I really do mean it. Like, this guy is quite good on his day. He's very talented. As the new guy, Phoenix, is in the pits, he's lost his front wing, and yeah, definitely getting some damage repaired. As the midfield battle has suddenly hotted up. We got Carey, Uni, As Turbo, Boris, Ozdunder all together for a huge battle that we will, and no doubt, we will absolutely enjoy.
But indeed, like saying before, As Turbo and Boris way down the order from where they should usually be finishing, being 1st and 3rd in the championship. They'll be looking to get out of this 5-way battle and up the road as soon as they can, but they do need to get through Stefan Carey and Uni first.
Yeah, Uni's just made the move on Carey into turn 1, and As Turbo's made the move on Carey into turn 2. Carey's lost 2 positions in 2 corners. He's falling down through the field. As in the background, Ozdunder is now side by side with Boris, coming out of that corner, but Boris manages to hold the position.
Yeah, Carey won't be very happy with himself there as Boris is off. But he's still going, but he's going to lose that position to Ozdunder. As we said, this is spicing up so far with 3 overtakes within 4 corners.
And Clank has spun again.
I'm not sure if he had contact with a back marker there. I did see another car off with him.
Yeah, there is. I think there's Voodoo. Sorry, not Voodoo. I think it was actually Keyboard Blondie. Bit of RG Bargy, but
and we do have a Andrew McKinley in the chat at the moment. I'm sure no relation to you, JP, but
quite possibly, maybe. You never know. Quite a big family tree.
He's asking if this is across every platform. At the moment, it's just on PC. We do run PS4 and Xbox Championships on occasion. You'd have to just check out the forum for that, the Apex Online Racing forum. It's apexonlineracing.com/community, and on there you can just navigate around there to find Project Cars 2 and see if there's anything on your platform that you're on.
Yeah, and thanks for tuning in, long lost cousin.
He does spell it with an A instead of an E at the end, to be fair, so
Kinley.
Kinley. And then we have another guy, was that at Big Wilk?
That's Big Wilk. That is Big Wilk. And it seems that the top three from the championship are having an absolute disaster of this race. As Big Wilk was running P3 in the championship, dropped down to P4 from Crab after he made a mistake, and now he's down to P9.
Yeah, so Big Wilk with a mistake there going around turn 4. Ending up on the grass and letting through that huge train that we've seen before of Uni, As Turbo, Oz Dunder, Stefan Carey and Boris all got past him during that incident, so huge load of points just thrown out the window for Big Wilk, and a long fight back now in the last 6 laps for him to gain any positions.
Yeah, and the championship leader has now got back ahead of him. He is P5, but it's championship is definitely still wide open when it comes to this, because you just don't know where it's going to be. There's still 5 laps remaining, but still lots of time to come. Still lots of racing to come in the next couple of even in the next couple of weeks.
Yes, see, Stefan Carey's actually gone backwards quite a lot over these last few laps. He was running quite comfortably at the front of this pack before. Now he's dropped down to 4th in the pack, and he's also under pressure from Boris behind. So Stefan Carey not having a great couple of laps so far.
Well,
Let's see if he can close that gap towards Dunder, which is now grown to 2 seconds. Maybe it was having to dodge the incident of Big Wilk, but Clank actually comes into the pits after going off a couple of times, so some repairs there coming in for Clank.
Yeah, if my eyes don't deceive me, I do think that Carey is actually carrying some slight damage on the front nose of the car, so maybe that's causing him some of the troubles, but he's definitely not having the race of it, of what we were expecting from him.
You see how well he can defend now. He's got Boris, who, to say, running 3rd in the championship, right on his tail. Got 5 laps to fend him off.
Yeah, taking quite a defensive line and across the start finish. As Boris now looks to have the inside line, and you can see that Carey just doesn't seem to have the straight line speed across the start finish. Couldn't really defend turn 1.
It does seem like he's got some sort of damage going on there, because should definitely be able to keep up the pace with Boris across there. But we'll keep an eye on it and see if he can make it to the end and whether there is damage involved.
And we'll head back now to our current championship leader, As Turbo, who has been absolutely hounded by Oz Dunder in P6, and Uni, who is in P4, is just not letting anyone past.
Yeah, Uni having a great drive today after missing the first 2 rounds at Ruapuno and Monza, and not really having great results in the Red Bull Ring or Silverstone, but currently sitting in P4. He has to be pretty happy with his drive so far if he can hold it together for these last 4 laps, especially holding back the championship leader. As Oz Dunder looks to go down the inside, that's not a place you can usually get a move done, and Oz Dunder suffers the consequences of it, and he is round.
Yeah, that's an incredibly fast corner. We've been making moves like that there, and it just didn't pay off. And now, because of the chance moves that he did make, he's dropped now to P9, I do believe. And yeah, it's going to be a bit of a recovery drive for the next 4 laps.
The shape there for Oz Dunder, who's having a good battle, but unfortunately, got to pick your battles, and I don't think Dingledale corner is the one to do it. It's too fast and too tight for you to really get round. I think that's Clank, is it? A back marker? Yeah, I believe that's Clank running slow on the inside, just trying to nurse his car to the finish.
Yeah, there's been a bit of a success story for As Turbo, considering it's been a recovery drive. Started P2, dropped down to P10 or 11, and now he's back up to P5, and seems to be even possible to get the P4 if he can get past Uni.
Yeah, definitely seems plausible, but we haven't looked at it too much. But looking at the top 3, especially second and third, what penalties are we looking at there? There's a 1 second difference in them, so currently Crab has been gaining on Strongest Avenger throughout the race, but whether he can get that within 1 second before the end, we'll have to wait and see. We go back now to last turbo.
Crab's last lap was almost 7/10 faster, so than Strongest Avenger, so he's definitely got the bit between his teeth and doing his best to reel in one of the best on the game, Strongest Avenger.
Last turbo, is he going to have a look into turn 1 with that drive that he's got on Uni so far? He does go to the inside. Is he going to, no contact, good driving by both of those, give each other room, but Uni on the outside has a faster line as he go into Druids now, but As Turbo should be able to get this done through Druids.
Very respectful driving there. Uni realising, oh, he's not giving it up, he's going to have a look on the inside with As Turbo, and there's been a huge crash! Boris almost gets involved as well as Oz Dunders. And As Turbo drops down through the field once again.
Just as we spoke about his recovery drive, getting back up, he is already back down to P7 again now, so back to work he goes for another 2 laps to see if he can do any more recovering. He's got Stefan Carey with a wounded car and Oz Dunder just ahead of him. Should be able to get through Stefan Carey if there's not too much damage from that incident with Uni. I'm not sure as well if Oz Dunder took any damage from his spin either. He did seem to go near the barrier, but I'm not sure if he made any contact. But he could be looking at 3 wounded cars right now, trying to make it to the end.
I don't know, I think Oz Dunder might be alright. He seems to get through there okay. We can definitely see that Carey's got some bit of a wounded car for sure. As As Turbo, we just seen how much of a big crash he had, and he's already on the back of Carey. Pretty sure Carey would be going way faster if he could. Yeah, you can see As Turbo has him before he even crosses the line. Just doesn't have the straight line speed.
Yeah, so unfortunate for Carey, but still to be holding on to P7 with a car that's been wounded for the best part of half the race. It's a good effort by him. As now looking at the running order, Boris has got himself up to P4 after qualifying down in 14th or 15th or so. Got himself to P4, so a huge amount of positions gained for Boris.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic drive for Boris. Absolutely outstanding stuff, just to keep it out of the walls and keep it out of the way of other drivers. Fantastic racer. But in saying that, Boris' last lap was a 1:30.3, and Oz Dunder is catching him.
Is indeed only 1 lap to do it though when they cross the line here, I believe, unless... Yeah, Yogurk's on lap 15, so they got 1 lap to do now. Is that enough time for Oz Dunder to catch up to Boris? 3 seconds, it's a lot to ask, so Boris is going to have to make some form of mistake here for Oz Dunder to catch up to him.
There is her race winner, sorry, our race leader. He hasn't crossed the line just yet. Pretty much lights to flag race for Yogurk. Never really threatened by anyone. But as he comes across the line to take the first victory of the sprint race tonight.
Sideways.
And this is the battle we're wondering about for P2. Crab is within the 1 second gap. Will Crab get... Will it be a 1-2 for the team?
Doesn't look like it was. Did Crab pick up another penalty in that case?
We'll have a look at it after the race, but here comes Boris. Can he... Yeah, Boris is going to hang on to P4, I do believe, but Ozdunder just not close enough to take the P4 off him.
Yeah, I'm sure I'd be pleased with that. That's Ozdunder's best finish of the season. He had a 6th and 7th in Silverstone. Now he's topped that with a 5th here today at Brands Hatch, so it's coming together for him near the end of the season.
Here's Ozdunder, and there is Ass Turbo in P6. Carey picking up the P7. That's a bit of a shame. Carey's normally a pretty good driver, but and there's Dairfile and a Big Will picking up a P9. He'll be gutted with that there from being P3 for most of the championship. And Uni as well, a bit of a devastating run considering he was so far up, running P4 for a good chunk of the race.
And that will be the end of our race here today. So Yogurt with a commanding lead there of 16 seconds by the end of the race. As you see, Strongest Avenger and Crab in 2nd and 3rd, but Crab did have that 4-second penalty, which meant didn't manage to jump Strongest Avenger there, but did get the gap very, very close towards the end. Boris takes P4 after a huge grind through the field, gaining about 10 places to get there. Ozdunder 5th, Asturbo 6th, our championship leader. Stefan Carey in 7th, Dairfile in 8th. Big Wilk won't be happy with that P9, but he will start 2nd in the next race, which could play into his advantage. And Uni there in 10th to round out our top 10.
Yeah, and then we've got Cameron B picking up our P11 slot, just missing out in that one position for pole position for the feature race. Then we got Voodoo in 12th, and then we got WRC Animal in 13th, which is a bit of a surprise, but I'm sure he can make inroads in the feature race. P14 we got Clank, another big surprise, and in 15th we got Martin, who had a bit of an incident in the first lap, but continued to carry on during the race just to get more track experience, even though he was 2 laps down. But and then P16th was Keyboard Blondie, who also had an incident in the first lap of the race.
So, exciting race 1, few incidents, few dramas, few pit stops. Let's do it all again in about 5 or 10 minutes, where we'll be going on to the main feature race. We'll see you shortly. Hello and welcome back as we see the drivers 2x2 for race 2 here at Brands Hatch. In pole position we have Uni after finishing 10th in the last race, Big Wilk starting second, Carrie and Deifal on the second row, Asturb and Thunder third row, Boris and Crab on the fourth row, Strongest Avenger and Yogurt making up the fifth row as they come over the start finish line to start this race. It's up to Uni to decide when to go.
He's left it very late, and I think he's been jumped as I do believe that's Clank in the background. We'll try and come back to that, but Carrie makes the move. Try to hold it around to the outside of Deirfile, but Uni and Big Wilk currently sit P1, P2. But yeah, it's pretty much as you were. Everyone seems to be getting through quite cleanly. Yogurt is still sitting in P10, bit of a surprise there. Normally he just tries to storm up through the field quite as fast as possible, but his own teammate of Crab blocking the moves, not making them through, not letting them through, as Strongest Avenger takes a very wide line through that turn to try and, as there's 3x3, Yogurt, Crab and Boris. That could have been very nasty, but they're still managing to filter through.
Yeah, Deifal did his best to hold up that train, but I don't think there's much stopping Yogurt and Strongest Avenger when they're on a good day.
Cameron just absolutely destroyed the wall. He came round there and got on the grass, but he was sent straight into the wall, and it was Clank who was in that crash at the start finish.
Yeah, I'm not sure quite what happened there. It seemed like he just put down the throttle and the car went sideways on him, but we'll have to come back to him on that and see what happened from his point of view. But see Stefan Carey up in third place right now, having a great day of it, and Asturbo, the front four, bit of a gap pulling, but be it Yogurt behind them, I'm sure it'll be a front five sooner rather than later.
Yeah, Yogurt gaining 5 positions on the first lap.
Union a very wide line there, so they make their way around Druids, back down to Graham Hill. Great opening lap there by Uni though, kept it clean, kept himself in first place from pole.
Yep. Yeah, we could see in the last race that he definitely had the pace to, well, maybe not match Yogurt and Strongest Avenger, but definitely everybody else.
Yogurt's now joined this train in just 4 corners is all it took for him to gain that 2 seconds gap to this group of cars. But we can see the gap behind to Crab after that is another 3 seconds or so.
As Carrie's off, Carrie's made a mistake and he's dropped into P5. And just as Yogurt makes the move anyways.
That's 2 for 1 there for Yogurt, yeah. But we'll see. Carrie's still in contention here, still got the slipstream on the straight, so he'll be still with this front 5 group of cars.
But I have to say I kind of feel bad for WRC Animal and Martin and Clank as they were taken out at the start of this race, and they have already done pit stops.
The Yogurt's made himself to P2 and he's going to get the move done into Druids now on the inside of Uni to grab that first place position.
And Big Wilk is looking as well to have the move done on Uni. But Asturbo now in the background gets the move made as a bit of a... as Carey as well has got the move made.
So Big Wilk going backwards there, has lost 2 places in a couple of corners. As Stefan Carey gets himself back up to 4th after his incident. So it's Yogurt, followed by Uni, followed by Asturbo, followed by Stefan Carey, followed by Big Wilk. That makes up this top 5, but the group behind is slowly catching as Crab goes a bit off-roading there. And this is Crab, Boris and Strongest Avenger, the second pack of cars that are chasing down that front peloton.
With the luck, it's a very dodgy corner to be having moves. You have to be reliant on the car to leave you space for the inside. Strongest Avenger looks around the outside and gets the move made on Boris. They're slightly side by side still, but Strongest will have the inside line for the final turn to get the move made. But Strongest up to 7th. Crab now ahead.
It's given Crab a load of breathing room now to try and chase down Big Wilk on his own without the threat of Strongest Avenger behind him or Boris. So see if these 3 cars between them at all can catch up with this front group.
We'll have a look back down the field as Phoenix, the new guy, and Oz Dunder. As Oz Dunder now has a look up the inside. This is the battle for P11. Oz Dunder gets the move made. Phoenix, who unfortunately disconnected from the last race, was actually having a pretty good race as well. I think it was P12 for a good chunk of the race. But yeah, Phoenix definitely showing good potential in this race as WRC Animal back into the pits again.
Yeah, he's not having a good day today, Animal. Don't believe he had a good week last week as well, did he? He had a 17th and a 14th at Silverstone, so after being a top contender the first couple of weeks, it's gone a bit downhill for him so far.
Yeah, it's not been the best of for the last 2 weeks, 2 outings for him, shall we say. But Strongest Avenger now jumping up to P6. He's just got Crab. That's the battle ahead. Carey has made his way back up to P3 and is fighting Uni. He wants that P2. He wants to try and solidify this podium position that he's never had in this championship just yet.
Obviously, WNDR Martin will be a back marker here to contend with as we come around turn 1. Be just up the road there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he won't be much of an obstacle for Carey as their teammates, but maybe a bit of team orders could come into play, but I don't think Martin's that kind of guy. Martin's normally a very respectable kind of guy.
Well, first they have to catch him as well, because we know Martin is quick enough to be on this pace. It's unfortunate that he has a lap down due to an incident, so he may not even be an issue for blue flags with his pace.
It's incredible as Carey goes on the grass. He is playing with fire.
Yeah, someone got a bit wobbly there coming out of Hawthorns, but keeps it together this time and carries on his pursuit for Uni and P2. As Asturbo, the gap from Asturbo is still sitting about a second, so not losing too much time through that.
Uni didn't have the greatest of exits through there. He was slightly on the grass. Now Carey's right on his gearbox coming around the final turn. Carey will be in the slipstream here as Cameron B goes into pits. But can Carey make a move into turn 1? He's making the look. He's very close, but Uni holds the line and doesn't give him any space up the inside, as we can see the back marker of, I do believe it's WRC Animal, getting out of the way of everyone.
Yeah, great sportsmanship there by WRC Animal to let these guys come through cleanly and keep the battle going. Not interfere in any way, shape or form there.
Yeah, so a bit of a rundown. We've got Yorker now P1, 7.5 seconds up the road. His last lap was a 23.5. Uni in P2, his last lap was a 27.2, so that is just how good Yorker is. He is 4 seconds up the road per lap almost. And then you got Carey P3, Asturbo P4, Big Will P5, Strongest Avenger P6, and they are all battling it out for the same bit of tarmac.
Yeah, indeed, but credit to Uni, he's holding on there in that P2 spot for now. Started from pole this race and only lost position to Yogurt so far, so we'll see how long we can keep this together as Asturbo has closed that gap to Carey now, and it's going to put him under some pressure, which Uni will probably be happy to see, to be honest. Hopefully get him off his gearbox a bit more if Carey has to start driving a bit more defensively to stop Asturbo's attack. But Carey goes wide here into turn 1. Uni having to take the inside line, but they come through cleanly and in order. But Carey has a bit more speed as the Druids, but can't capitalise on it at all as Uni has a bit of contact as Uni takes a bit slow around the corner, and that allows Asturbo through as they shunt it up. But Carey is the inside line now through Graham Hill and managed to defend his position well. But Asturbo does have the run on him out of that corner, and Carey may end up losing more positions here as he's offline.
Oh, Uni spun in front of them all. There's a huge crash. Uni's straight into the wall and he's lost his front wing.
That is so unfortunate for Uni. As we're just singing him praises again, we should really stop doing that. It's coming more, more, more worser. More worser is the words I'm going to go with.
We
Every
need a
time.
dictionary. But yeah, that's enabled our championship leader after all that chaos to get onto P2 with Carry now P3. And strongest Avenger, that is not the man you want. Carry will be wanting to see behind him. Sitting P4 and Big Wilk, our championship P2 protagonist in P5 right now. Carry will be thinking, surely you don't want to take this, my only podium position away. But strongest Avenger doesn't care. He's got the move made before they come across the line.
He has indeed, but still a long way to go. Just about a third into this race so far, so anything can happen from here.
Carry's had a bit of a moment. Carry's had a bit of a moment coming out of turn 1. And there goes Big Wilk up to P4. Carry now drops to P5 in the space, not even of a lap even. Sitting P2, now down to P5.
I'm really hoping that Carry didn't pick up any damage from when they grouped up around Druids the previous lap. Hopefully he has the car to fight this battle and keep with these guys ahead, otherwise it's going to be a long old run for him again to nurse that car back to the end.
Yeah, Uni, who was at the head of this battle, is now P13 and is in the pits. But so it's quite unfortunate for Uni. It was going ever so well. As As Turbo and Strongest Avenger are side by side. As Strongest Avenger again loves that corner for overtaking. I'm not sure I would have been one of them, but yeah, As Turbo definitely losing speed, and you can see now Big Wilk, the top two in the championship, they're going to have a neck and neck battle as they come around now the last corner.
Yeah, it's great driving here. A great move there by Strongest Avenger to make it stick around Dingledale there. It's a very difficult corner to get anything to stick with how tight it is and how it just comes over the crest. You can't even see the exit of the corner until you're over it. So a great move by Strongest Avenger to get himself up to P2.
We'll jump back down the field now. This is the battle for P10. You got Keyboard Blondie and Voodoo. As Voodoo has a bit of a wide line, but seems to be able to carry the speed. He's in the slipstream now of Keyboard Blondie. Will he have a look him to turn one? He's certainly looking. He's going to have a bit of a dive here, maybe not. He's definitely making Keyboard Blondie look in the mirrors. Keyboard Blondie keeps the position, heads up now, the head back up the hill. As Keyboard Blondie's gone deep, but it's still no positions have changed just yet.
Yeah, Voodoo just trying to look for any gap that they can to get around Keyboard Blondie, but Keyboard Blondie just keeping it simple, keeping it on the racing line and getting the fastest way around the track. There's a bit of lag there, takes them well off the line, but they seem to be putting a bit of a gap to Keyboard Blondie now.
Yeah, we'll jump now to P6, and Carey has now defending his P5 from Boris, the P3 P3 in the championship. Boris. This just goes to show that this championship could really go to any one of these drivers. As Boris has a look up the inside, will Carey leave the space? He closes the door. There's no way Carey was going to leave space there. Carey very forcefully closing the door, saying, "You are going to go straight into the back of me. I'm not letting you through." Boris will have to find another way.
He will indeed, but you'll also see Carey does have that time penalty, but I'm sure Boris will be looking to try and catch up to Big Wilk and dispose of Stefan Carey as soon as he can, really, to be able to start working on that gap. But right now, Carey's doing a great job of defending from Boris, as they're going to go 2 by 2 now down Pilgrim's Drop into Hawthorns. I think Carey's just got the edge on him on the inside here now.
I do believe Carey seems to have a bit of a wound to carry again this race. He just doesn't seem to have the top end on the car. It seems to be okay in the corners. There's a bit of a moment coming around there as well, as the back marker of, I do believe that's Uni in the behind. It's currently sitting P14, but hopefully he doesn't get too involved in this battle as this is for the P5.
As Unida goes cutting a bit of grass, building a bit of sandcastles, and hopefully going to bring it back safely, and he does. But Boris now looking on the inside of Stefan Carey and gets the move done into turn 1. But Stefan Carey's going to fight back into Druids now, taking the inside line away from Boris.
Fantastic stuff.
We come down now to Graham Hill. Boris will again have the inside, and I think this is going to be it for the overtake. Yeah, Boris then settles now into P5, and he's going to start working on that gap to Big Wilk. It's about a 4-second gap now he's got to close down to get himself into top 4 contention.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a surprise, but Strongest Avenger hasn't been able to pull away from this battle too much. Strongest Avenger now is sitting P2, but As Turbo sitting P3, and Big Wilk definitely not letting As Turbo away with this. He realizes this is the championship battle. He needs to finish ahead of As Turbo in some of these races coming up to put a challenge for the championship. And we'll jump down now to P12, Martin, who had that crash at the very beginning. And then had to pit to fix the damage. Again, another week of a bit of a recovery drive. Now attacking Voodoo is very sideways through there. As Oz Dunder is in the pits.
Surprising.
Not sure what happened to Oz Dunder. Yeah. But yeah, Martin hunting down Voodoo right now. Definitely going to be in the slipstream. There's potential to have a look up into the first turn. He's having a look. He's making it brutally honest that brutally obvious that he's going to drift turn 1. What a way to take the position, but it's not the fastest way. As now he's going to have to defend turn 2, and he gets the move made. As Voodoo will drop down to P11, and Martin jumps up to P10.
Yeah, great move there by Martin to try and gain some points back after a disappointing start. But Big Wilk now on P4, still harassing the gearbox of As Turbo.
Yeah, the Spaniard and P3 of As Turbo is not wanting to let this championship slip through his grasp like what he did in the last race. There's as many points as you can gather is obviously the aim of the game. But it so easily could have got away from As Turbo in the last race. Only he was able to have a bit of a recovery drive, and then there was contact again, and that dropped him back down through the field. Ended up finishing P7. But he's a bit squirrely coming through there. Big Wilk definitely getting a better drive out of the corner, but he can't really make anything of it. That's the head round now by Surtees. Definitely, Big Wilk definitely does have the measure of As Turbo right now.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Big Wilk has anywhere he's has an advantage so far. Even with the slipstream down the start-finish straight, it's not really long enough to take full advantage of it, as Big Wilk goes wide there around Dingledell, and that's going to lose him a couple of tenths. And free As Turbo for a few corners until he gains that back again.
Yeah, they come across the line now. It's pretty much staying the same. The gap is 4 tenths. It does slightly close down to 3.4 now. But yeah, the straights just doesn't seem to be long enough for Big Wilk to make any inroads. And As Turbo is such a good driver. He very, very, very rarely makes mistakes when he's out on his own. So if he just keeps the eyes forward and not really look in the mirrors, it should be okay. unless Big Will can pull out something special.
I can see this one going right to the end of this race. As you say, As Turbo, solid driver, rarely makes mistakes, but Big Wilk, he ain't going to give up on this easily as we reach the halfway point of this race. Still a long way to go, a lot of moves can be made.
And we'll jump back down through the field. Let's have another look at Martin. Currently, we just seen him a few laps ago overtake Voodoo for P10, and now we've got Keyboard Blondie up ahead of that. Yeah, Keyboard Blondie sitting P9, and that was a bark marker getting out of the way of Cameron B. Yeah, Martin with a fully repaired car, absolutely flying.
Yeah, he also had that win back at Red Bull Ring in the second race. Doubt he's going to be able to replicate his heroes. Keyboard Blondie goes off, so it gives Martin a bit of a chance. But I guess at least close that gap a bit closer. Try and get a move done the next time that happens. But yeah, Martin with the win at Red Bull Ring, but trying to make his way back up the field now to claim as many points back as he can.
And I'm just after realising we haven't seen much of Crab this race. But I'm not going to talk a Crab as Martin takes a position up to P9. It's a great. He just takes the corner, takes the inside line, leaving plenty of space for Keyboard Blondie on outside. And Martin now up to P9. Next up was Phoenix at P8. And Carey has dropped down to P7. Darefile has caught him.
Yeah, as has Phoenix, that's not Phoenix behind him, that is a back marker behind him, apologies. Phoenix is 6 seconds down on Carey at the moment. But yeah, Carey just dropping down the order, having a great start and battling for the top podium spots initially. Finds himself in P7 with a lot of work to do to get back up the order.
Yeah, Carey not having the best days of it. But yes, WRC Animal getting out of the way there. As we head back now to the battle for P3, the final position, sorry, the final podium spot between battling out with the top two in the championship. At stalemate as you are, as 3/10, the gap hasn't grown or closed in the last couple of laps.
Big Wilk's just going to keep applying this pressure and look for any gaps he can. He sees one now but decides against it. It's not really a corner, you can get an overtake done again. But, GP part of the track isn't the easiest place to do anything, to be honest. You're more likely to get anything done on the Indy side of the circuit.
Yeah, it's a very fast flowing track, especially these corners that they're just coming out of the forest. Oh, Big Welk now is as close as he's ever been.
Still not certain
Answers
it's
on a
close
postcard
enough.
if he can get the move made. If you think he can do it, like, please let us know in the chat.
But again, As Turbo just driving so precisely, there's nothing Big Will can really do. It's getting close to him now. He tries to look for a gap, but there's nothing going. Can he get a better exit now as they head down towards turn 5? But no, the gap is still at half a second now, so nothing Big Wilk does seems to be working against As Turbo. As Turbo is just driving so precise and so perfectly. There's nothing Big Wilk can do about this so far. As Big Wilk hits the curb and spins and loses his front wing. That is
Devastating.
disastrous for Big Wilk, as he is pushing so hard to try and get a move done. He's now lost his front wing, and I imagine that's going to be a pit stop for him and drop him right down the order.
Yeah, surely will. With 12 laps remaining, that's not what you want to happen. You could maybe limp on for another lap or so, but he surely will have to pit and get that fixed. Hopefully the pit crew can get it fixed in time as he pulls into the pits, gets it slowed down in time, but that'll promote Boris, the P3 guy, up to P4 now. And the P3 in the championship, up to P4 in the race.
Yeah, but yeah, interesting to see where Big Wilk comes back out and see if he can make his way up the order the same way WMDR Martin has, but one guy that's going to take advantage of this is Stefan Carey, as he's still battling with Deophile.
Yeah, he seems to have got back in front of Deophile, and these two seem to be yo-yoing back and forth. Yeah, Carey back up now to P5 as Big Wilk still in the pits. He's still in P9. He's dropped down to P10, but this is good news for Mr. Martin, WMDR Martin, who now sits P8 and is closing the gap to the new guy, Phoenix. Only 8 seconds between them, and there's definitely enough time to catch. There's 11 laps left. He could get a P7 out of this.
Could indeed, just shows the power of persistence and keeping at it. But we go back to Stefan Carey, who now has lost the position to Deophile. So as you say, these guys just swapping positions back and forth. See if Stefan Carey can answer him again and get himself back up to top 5.
Yeah, Big Wilk's back out of the pits now in P11. We'll try and keep an eye on him to see where he can finish. He's got 11 laps to try and do his best of a recovery drive. He'll be absolutely gutted, as he was on pace with As Turbo, but one mistake and it costs you a hell of a lot of time. These cars are pretty fragile.
So our running order now is we're 2/3 through the race. Yogurt with a commanding 19-second lead over Strongest Avenger. Strongest Avenger with a 11-second gap back to As Turbo. 7 seconds behind him is Boris. As we see Big Wilk now going past his back marker of Voodoo. Actually, sorry, that was for position because Big Wilk had the incident, didn't he? So that was actually for position as Big Wilk moves himself up to P10 and now has a 14-second gap to close down to get to Keyboard Blondie.
Yeah, Big Wilk's now on the recovery drive of a lifetime, back into the top 10, but it's a huge ask to do much more than that, as Phoenix now has caught up to Carey. Carey must have made another mistake because he's not on the back bumper of, not that these cars have bumpers, but he's not on the gearbox of Deophile anymore, and he's fallen into the clutches of the new guy, Phoenix.
Yeah, we did say earlier on whether Carey had damage from the incident where they gathered up at this spot at Druids, where he went in the back of Union. I think As Turbo went in the back of him and he became a sandwich of some sorts. So whether he picked up any aero from that that's caused him to drop these positions over the race, we'll have to find out later.
Yeah, let's just have a look at the time penalties. Yogurt on P5's 5 seconds of penalties. Strongest Avenger on 2, Stefan Carey on 2, Phoenix on 2, and Martin on 2. So there won't be, just as I say that now, Carey picks up another one, so that's 3. So, I mean, Phoenix could just sit within the 1 second gap, but there's still 9 laps to go, so we don't know what's going to happen.
There is, and I'm sure Martin, as Phoenix goes off there around Dingledale, but he joins safely. As you see in the background coming sideways is WMDR Martin making his march up the field, so I can't see Phoenix having wanted to sit behind Carey for too long, with Martin making the charge that he is up the field. He could definitely get those positions and work his way up to P6 the way it's going.
And I do believe Stefan Carey just got another time penalty.
Yeah,
He's up to 5 now.
So Carey struggling with the car, struggling with track limits. It's got 8 laps to hold something together, whatever he can.
The new guy Phoenix is having a great race. 8 laps remaining. Can he catch Carey and get a top 6 out of it?
It'll be a great debut if he could, just assert himself as a contender in this and future races.
Yeah, for sure. But again, just looking at Jogurk's lap times, his lap times are not consistent. It seems he seems to be making slight mistakes, maybe having slight spins. But the fact is that the gap has dropped now to 9 seconds to Strongest Avenger. Strongest Avenger his last lap was a 24.8. So Strongest Avenger is on the time on the consistent times. The strongest, or sorry, not the strongest, but Jogurk was a 27.6. So his times are fluctuating. But again, in saying that, 27.6 isn't really a slow time. It's just.
Well, it's 29.6 is what I'm seeing was last lap. So it's a bit behind the pace there at 29.6.
As Phoenix has a look on Carey, there's slight contact there, but Carey keeps the position. Phoenix wants this top 6 out of it. I mean,
so as this battle goes on, Martin in the background closing that gap down slowly. It's now just 1.4 seconds. So Phoenix looks to the outside, but Carey covers it. There's not an easy way around making that Formula C as wide as he can.
Yeah, but you could see Phoenix is no novice. He was taking a wider line to get the more straight line speed down the straight, and you can see Carey going defensive already. Phoenix trying to have a look around the outside.
There again, this part of the track is very difficult to get any moves done, even into that corner when you have the run. It's such a long sweeping corner. If they defend the inside, it's a long way around that outside line.
Yeah, but this is all for position, and Phoenix is now in a Lamb Bromance sandwich.
He is.
Carey ahead and WMDR Martin behind.
But what will play into effect here is the penalties. It's still the same as it was before. Carey is on 5 and the other 2 are on 3-second penalties. So as it stands, Carey will be shifted to the back of this pack.
Yeah, for sure. As Phoenix has a look up the inside, Carey just doesn't have the straight line speed. Phoenix takes the inside line and Carey drops the position.
Makes you wonder whether Carey is actually on a different setup to everyone else, whether he's on loose while everyone else is taking stable or such, which is losing him that top end speed. Because it seems to be an issue for both these races now, whether it's, I'm not sure whether it is damage or whether it's setup choice.
That's definitely a question we can ask him if he joins us for an interview after the after the race. But Phoenix now has got his P6 and he's got his head down, he's heading up the road. But can Martin, who was 1.5 seconds a lap faster than him the last lap, can Martin catch him and take the P6 off him? As Carey has dropped to P8, he's let Martin through. Team orders, no doubt.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Phoenix does now without Carey getting in the way and holding him up. Whether he's actually got the pace to fend off WMDR Martin, or will Martin continue his march up the field. It is only 4 seconds again up the road to Deofal after this pack, so I'm sure Martin's still not done yet.
Surely Martin couldn't get a top 5 out of this race after having a crash in the first lap. I mean, we all know how good he is, but it'll be a hell of a drive. It'd be better than winning the race.
Even getting to P6 is a heroic effort, but top 5 he'll be over the moon with if he can get himself up to there, as he does seem to have closed the gap now to about half a second from Phoenix, so Martin's definitely got the pace over him.
Martin is an extremely experienced guy in this, on this, shall we say, sim. He loves it. He plays it every chance he gets. Very experienced. He's done all the leagues you can think of. And he's definitely closing the gap. The gap is coming down.
Unfortunately, Carey not being able to keep up with the pace of these two guys at the moment, so going to be hoping he can hold on to that P9 with Keyboard Blondie 15 seconds behind him. But Martin still pushing, getting closer and closer to Phoenix every lap it seems, so it's just a matter of time until he can find a place to make a move.
As he almost lost it there, he came on the exit of that curb. He's got a bit squirrely, but again, it just seems to have the, maybe with the control of the car, it just seems to have better turning. He seems to be able to grip better, and yeah, you can see Phoenix holding the middle of the road, wanting to see which way Martin's going to make a move, left or right. But Martin decides, I'm going to let you decide, and then I'll follow behind.
Martin has a look on the inside of Druids here now. Phoenix graciously gives him the room. As Martin
Phoenix
makes the move done.
Yeah, that's as you were now. Martin will be very happy with that there. P6 with their file 2.4 seconds up the road now.
I wonder if Phoenix thoughts of the long term and gone, I'm happy with a P7 here, I don't want to crash into you, and I know that you're faster. So it may have been a calculated move there by Phoenix to just let Martin by.
And I do believe that's Clank. Is that Clank getting out of the way?
Maybe Clank still just pondering around trying to pick up the scraps of points that are left.
No, I do believe that was Oz Dunder in P12. Yeah, you can see now Martin putting big inroads into Phoenix already, pulled a second gap.
Yeah, and the gap to Derefal's now under 2.5 seconds. I believe we said it was 4 seconds a couple of laps ago. So with 4 laps to go, I don't put it past WNDR Martin to get this charge to top 5 complete.
Yeah, this will be a heroic comeback.
But to draw it back in a bit, WNDR Martin will have 2 seconds of penalties to overcome, so maybe more by this point. But if he does manage to catch Derefal, he's going to have to do a lot of work to pull the gap after overtaking him.
But in all this excitement, not that we've forgotten about him, Jorgurk is right there and he is catching. He's just overtaken Carey, who we can see there now. With so Jorgurk will be catching Phoenix and maybe even WMDR Martin before this race is over. If they've got 2 laps to hang on. I'm pretty sure Martin wouldn't want to get overtaken because he would want that extra lap to try and close in on Derefal. But
yeah, you still want to go for it even with that penalty and the chances looking slim of him getting the position. You never know what's going to happen. So he's going to keep on pushing.
Yeah. Big Wilk and Keyboard Blondie here. This is the battle for P9. Big Wilk, incredibly fast earlier on in the race, made one mistake and that dropping down the field. Now he's in P10 and closing in on P9. Let's just have a look at the timings again. Jorgurk with 7 seconds, strongest adventure with 2, and Stefan Carey with 5. So yeah, Martin and Phoenix is only on 2 each, so it's definitely worth battling for them guys. But here we see now Keyboard Blondie holding in the middle of the road. A Big Wilk going up the inside. He just got the faster car, takes the inside line, and that's up to P9 for Big Wilk.
Yeah, very difficult to take the outside line on there. It's a bit off camera as well when you get onto the latter stages of that corner. So Keyboard Blondie not having the grip to be able to compete there, and has to concede the position to Big Wilk.
Yeah, and now Yogurt has lapped Phoenix, so that is the next car in the crosshairs for Yogurt is Martin.
It's Martin now, 1.5 seconds to Deophile. It's getting closer, but I feel that Yogurt could put a downer on this.
Could, yeah, if he can just stay behind for another lap, that'd be great, Yogurt, because this battle is getting a bit spicier now.
They are, of course, on comms to each other, so Martin may have asked him, can you can you stay behind and let me attack? But I'm not sure Deophile would take too kindly to that. I'm sure Deophile's asking Yogurt to get the overtake done, as Martin does seem to be letting him through, or just went very wide.
Just went very wide, and Yogurt almost took the opportunity to go through, but Martin died drifting, and Yogurt's right on the gearbox, and it'll be very unfortunate if Yogurt goes past, but I think Yogurt realises that they're still battling for position, and lets Martin take the position. To drift that corner almost side by side is very synchronistic. As Yogurt now has to look up the inside, and unfortunately Martin has been has been lapped by Yogurt, and we might just be have this last lap battle taken away from us.
Yeah, as Yogurt now is on his final lap, so Yogurt will take the checker flag here, and Martin will too, unfortunately, being a lap down. May also be the case that Deophile...
As Deophile's gone slow in the last corner to try and let Yogurt pass, and Martin's taking the position. Martin's up to P5.
He is up to P5, but this is the last lap for the pair, and there's not a 2-second gap between them. So
there's not a 2-second gap, unfortunately, as Yogurt wins the race. And yeah, Martin and Phoenix comes across the line as well, and I do believe that's Carrie in the background. And here comes Strongest Avenger around the last turn. A great drive from him and Yogurt, to be fair, who started 10th and 9th on the grid. And here is Ast Turbo, who was under a serious amount of pressure by Big Wilk that race, but one mistake from Big Wilk, and it pretty much wrapped up the P3 that he got in this race. And right behind him is Boris, Boris was actually closing in on him. And there is Deophile. He was very lucky to get this P5 out of it. Martin was absolutely on rails coming around these last couple of laps. So Kiki, yes. Let's have a rundown of the top 10.
Indeed, so Yogurt there, your race winner, even with 7 seconds of penalties, ran away with it. Strongest Avenger taking second, as Turbo rounding up our podium for the feature race. Boris takes fourth, with Deophile in fifth after being chased down by WMDR Martin in the closing stages. Phoenix takes up seventh, Stefan Carey takes eighth, Big Wilk takes ninth, and Keyboard Blondie takes last spot in the top 10.
And a great result there for Voodoo, who finished P11. WRC Animal again, not the best outings, finishing P12. Cameron B again having a bit of an incident, and I do believe that he crashed into the wall in the opening lap. But so it was a bit of a recovery drive, finishing P13. Oz Dunder, very eventful race, in P14. Uni again, and a very eventful race. He was led the race at the start, dropped to had a bit of a battle with Carrie and stuff, and then unfortunately fell out of it and finishing 15th. Clank as well, finishing 16th, and Crab, who retired on lap 5, finishing out the positions in P17.
So there we have it. It's what an eventful night of racing that was at Brands Hatch. Again, these drivers giving us some fantastic racing week in, week out. It's great stuff to see. See if we have any interviews here. Let's see who's waiting for us. Let's bring in the man that was on a mission in that final race, WMDR Martin, having to, I believe, pit early on in that last race and then march his way up to 6th place. How was that for you?
It was all right. I had a good time passing people this race. Wasn't really able to do that last race because I was in the pits for over a minute, but this time was a shorter stop. So yeah, managed to work my way up the field. Got to P5, but lost that with a 2-second track limit penalty. So
Yeah, we saw
yeah,
that happen at the end. It's a great drive by yourself to bring it back up into more points for you for the championship. Race 1 didn't really go your way though.
I got taken out. There's nothing more to it. Just got taken out, had to pit, and then I was pretty much a lap down and maybe even 2 laps. I'm not quite sure, but I spent the rest of the race unlapping P15 or P14 or something like that. Wasn't really gaining much ground. And then for the second race, I was passing quite a few people into turn 1. I'm not sure if you saw the move I did for P10. That was quite the drift there.
I'm not sure if we caught it, but we did see you drifting quite a lot, and you did a bit of a synchronized drifting with Yogurt in those final laps as well, coming around turn 4, so that was entertaining to see.
The final laps were a little bit confusing because I had Jogurk right behind me and I was catching Darefowl in front of me. And I sort of figured that Jogurk was gonna let us fight, but he got really close up to my rear end, which in P cars, if there's someone right behind you, it acts like they're right in front of you for the downforce, and you just lose a lot of your cornering speed. So I ended up just letting him through because I just could hardly drive it anymore. And then he ended up getting Darefile right at the end too, and he went wide, allowing me by. But yeah, the penalty. I don't think I would have been able to get a 2-second gap with the extra lap, so probably would have finished that way anyway.
Great stuff, but got to be happy with that P6 after a couple of incidents ruining your fun tonight, but got a final race of the season next week. You looking forward to it?
I'm just looking forward to not getting taken out for once. That would be very nice.
It would be great to see you on the podium again if you can get there next week after your, we'll mention it one more time, your first place at Red Bull Ring.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, we'll see you next week. Good luck. Next up, we will bring in. Let's grab Big Wilk, who had a very eventful couple of races and only managing 9th in each. So pretty poor results from our second place sitter coming into this week's of racing. How were those races for you?
Yeah, they were great. I did say I wasn't going to enjoy this track, and that's how it came to pass. I actually was enjoying race 2. Couldn't find a way past As Turbo, but I obviously had the pace, and then yeah, just bend it. Yeah, my first blue flags, my first pit stop for damage. So you got to enjoy the firsts, right?
You do. It's the ones you don't want, but I'm sure everyone's been there at some point in their racing career and their sim racing career. So gotta hopefully bounce back from this for next week.
Yeah. See how we go. I don't think the championship's on the cards anymore, but if I can go well at Hockenheim, then at least I can feel good about the end of the season. I've had enough time after my crash to calm down about it, so it was my fault anyway. Yeah,
we did happen to catch that, so you can go and watch the stream back and see you send it into the wall in glorious glorious streamer quality.
There goes.
But, yeah, unlucky tonight on the 9th. Obviously not what you really wanted, but best of luck next week, and hope to see you improve for that one.
Thanks, guys. Me too. See ya.
See ya. And it looks like the last of our people for interviews. I assume everyone else has run off quickly to watch the last of the football. We have Oz Dunder, who finished 5th in the first race, and I'm not sure where you finished in the second.
I finished last, I think, 13th or 14th.
Alright, so obviously the first race a bit better for you, best result of the season so far, so you got to be happy with that result at least.
Yeah, I was very happy with that. You know, just stuck to my guns, played it safe, and it worked for the most part. Same thing as Silverstone.
Yeah, so for the second race, what happened to you there for it to end up in the 13th? I'm not sure if we caught anything happen early on.
Just a series of bad events, misfortunes, lack of concentration, that sort of thing. Ultimately, it was no one's fault. It was just my fault, that's all. But it's no biggie other than that. It was a great race. To be fair, it was actually good racing when I was with people. No real collisions there.
Yeah, definitely seems one of those difficult tracks where everyone seemed to struggle tonight to some degree, so at least you managed to pick up a P5 in race 1 and get some points by your name, and hopefully gets a few more next week.
Yeah, very fast, very narrow track, and yeah, very happy with it.
Yeah, good job, man, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
Alright, that is it from us tonight. You can all go off and watch the last few minutes of the football, which I'm sure are going to be very entertaining. Yeah,
I do believe it's just gone to extra time as well.
Spoilers! Anyway, thanks guys for watching, and it's good night from me.
Yeah,
and
thanks for watching.
Good
Good
night.
night from me.